Operators often ask me whether they're going to get any warning of a public inquiry. And the answer really is a bit of yes and no. They're going to get 14 days notice minimum with the call-up letter. But prior to that, there will have been a reasonable amount of contact from the enforcement authorities. So a diligent operator would have liaised with the enforcement authorities, the DVSA or so on, liaised with them and taken some steps to sort out any problems. If there are still any problems, then an operator who's on their game will expect in the background a calling in letter to public inquiry to follow. Well, the operator's reaction varies hugely from operator to operator. Some seem not to care a great deal, though I confess as lawyers we may not see a great deal of those because those won't be the ones phoning lawyers. But those people might be a bit blasé. Some might take the view that the traffic commissioner really is or really has no right to question the operation that they're running. Others take the other end of the spectrum. They freeze in the spotlight. They think the traffic commission is going to take away their business, is out to get them, and really they should do nothing else but throw in the towel. Maybe the business isn't that profitable and they should chuck it all in. The correct response, of course, is somewhere down the middle. It's to realise that the traffic commissioner has a regulatory job to do, that he or she is out to get certain questions answered, and properly prepared for a public inquiry need not hold the terrors that some might think. The whole relationship between operators and the traffic commissioner is fundamentally based on trust. The details of a public inquiry vary from operator to operator, but at the end of it, when the operator walks out, the traffic commissioner has to trust that operator, firstly, to do what it says it's going to do, and secondly, that it hasn't been disingenuous or tried to cover things up in the evidence that it gives. If the traffic commissioner can have that level of trust in the operator, that is essentially the battle that needs to be fought. And if the operator can win that battle, they'll be given a lot of slack, a lot of leeway, and their life will be a whole lot easier. When the operator receives a calling in letter, first of all, they should read it very carefully. There are a lot of things in there that are going to be underlined in bold type, certain deadlines, and it's very important that the operator doesn't miss any of those deadlines. So the first thing to do is, having read it, is call up the legal advisor, for example me, and I will go through with them the various steps in the calling in letter. I'm likely to call them into a meeting and we will go through it in detail and start the preparation for the public inquiry. Stone King has a long history of helping operators at public inquiry. What we do is we advise the operators on the questions and tests that the traffic commissioner will ask and apply. And in particular, the traffic commissioner wants to know whether the problems that the DVSA or other enforcement authority has identified have been fixed. So the traffic commissioner is likely to give the operator something of a caning for doing something wrong, but they're obliged to give the operator mitigation and credit for the things they've got right. And the earlier the operator gets those things right, the more the credit will be. So if the operator gets things right before they've spoken to me, well, that's great. But the vast majority of operators, when they phone me, still haven't got things entirely right. And I will work through with the operator those things and get them right with the operator's help before the public inquiry, so we can walk in there and say to the traffic commissioner, Madam or Sir, we now have it right, give us lots of credit, don't take our business away. Stone King can help in a number of ways. We can help with the public inquiry, but also we can help before the public inquiry, even before you have an enforcement visit, because we have a number of audits we run. We can check the way that you run your maintenance systems. For bus operators, we can check the way you register and operate your services. We can audit your timekeeping. We can take all this together and give you what we like to call the fence at the top of the hill rather than the ambulance at the bottom.